Hi, hello, привет, Parev. My name is Irma. Welcome or welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things knitwear and reading. But today we're going to talk about everything that I knit in January and what is on my needles, as well as what I'm planning on knitting in the future. Let's get into it. I normally would go in chronological order, but I did not finish this cutie patootie first, but I am wearing it. So we're going to talk about it first. I have started and finished the Sunday Cardigan Mohair edition by Petite Knit. I made a gauge swatch and I blocked it. That's crazy. That is crazy. I have never blocked a swatch and I very rarely make gauge swatches at all. This is the year of gauge swatches. We're not messing up our projects. Well, maybe we are, but at the very least, we're gonna be knitting and blocking gauge swatches for projects that make sense for them. Probably not for accessories, but for garments, a gauge swatch. Yeah, so this was almost perfect, but I ended up sticking with the needles and the yarn that I chose because just laying flat, it was great. It was a little tight, but then if I just stretched it out a tad, it was perfect. So I kept it, and I also really liked how it looked. I think it's so pretty. I mean, I love this. I love this yarn. So I'm using Juniper Moon Harriet Fine alpaca with a silk mohair by Ito, and I don't know if you can see the marled look that it kind of has because the silk mohair is lighter than the alpaca. I just love it. Oh, I love it so much. So that was exciting. I was very, very proud of myself. The start of knitting this cardigan was a little rocky. It was a little crazy. I gave myself a crazy deadline of 5 days, which didn't happen, but 7 days, 1 week is not bad at all to start and finish a cardigan. So proud of myself for that. I am very pleased with how it turned out. The beginning was rocky because I was in a rush. I said it's Sunday and I want this done before my flight on Friday to go see my family. And that didn't happen. I knit the yoke and then I frogged the yoke and then I knit it and frogged it. I frogged it 3 times. And if you've knit the Sunday anything cardigan, tee, sweater, you probably know that it's really easy. It's not a difficult pattern. But I kept reading Knit the Knits, Purl the Pearls after doing the specific increases that she wanted, and I kept knitting the purls and purling the knits. So what the heck? I think I was just in a hurry. I was too anxious to get the yoke done so I could work on the rest of the body and just focus on the stockinette. And it was frustrating because I really, really like the yoke detail. It's the focal point of the cardigan. So I don't know why I was rushing, but I was. Once I was past that, by the 3rd time that I started the yoke and actually paid attention to the pattern, it was smooth sailing from there. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really simple but engaging, so that was fun. I love how it turned out. I did something that I never do where I knit the sleeves before knitting the body. So once I finished the first ball of the alpaca, I went ahead and just started knitting both sleeves because I was too scared of playing yarn chicken. If I'm not mistaken, I used only 2 balls of the Juniper Moon alpaca and 2.5 of the Ito silk mohair. So not a lot of yarn went into this, which makes sense. It's very flowy and airy and a transitional spring to summer, summer to fall, fall-ish piece. It's not really warm for winter time. That being said, it's great for filming because I'm very comfortable and not overly warm. So that's nice, but it's very cold where I am, and this just isn't warm enough. I did visit my sister, and she's in South Carolina, and it's hot and humid there, and it was a little bit chilly. And so when it got chilly, I did throw this on. I'm trying to think if I had any issues with the remainder of the construction. I don't think so. I do like this yarn combination. It's fluffy, it's soft. I like it, but I wear black, and well, you can see mohair gets everywhere, like everywhere, and there's no getting around it. If I'm wearing a more satiny shirt instead of a cotton shirt like I am today, it's way better. The mohair isn't everywhere. It's actually a very pleasant experience. That being said, I don't know if it's because this cardi has no buttons. It probably is. I wore this over a silky satiny shirt when I was out with my family, and this thing was slipping all over the place. And I kept thinking like, okay, I can add a button. I kept thinking I can add a button just up top, but I don't really love how that looks. And I kind of like that this cardigan doesn't have buttons, so I'm probably just gonna leave it. I also weirdly liked that it was like falling all over the place. It looked very, it looked very effortless, but it sounds messy. It does. It sounds messy if somebody is just walking around and their cardigan is like falling all over the place. But it was kind of fun. Like sometimes it would be an off the shoulder moment. And sometimes it was like one shoulder, second shoulder, both shoulders. Like it was kind of, it just like had a mind of its own. But I don't know, I kind of liked it. It's very flowy and cute. And I really like the fit of this garment. I desperately need something that isn't mohair so that I'm more comfortable wearing it with my black t-shirts and pants and jeans, just because it's not, fluff all over my black clothes isn't really like what I'm aiming for. Also with mohair, I can't just be walking around with a lint roller because I would literally just be lint rolling myself all day. So there's that. But yeah, that's my Sunday cardigan. I love it. I think she's so pretty. She's so cute. I'm glad that I didn't knit it cropped because I do find myself kind of like leaning towards the tendency of like, ooh, I like everything to be cropped because I wear my jeans high-waisted and everything is always tucked in. So I kind of like that like waist cutoff point. But for this, I really like the fit of it. So for sizing, I did knit technically like half a size down. Usually with petite knit, I'm between the second and third size, and I went for the second one because petite knit really likes oversized clothes, and I love a more comfortable fit. So like somewhere in the middle, I don't want it to be too oversized. I'm so happy that I already have a garment for myself. I'm so happy. That's my Sunday cardigan. Let me know if you've knit it, or the Sunday sweater, or the regular Sunday non-mohair edition cardigan, or the Sunday tee. If you have knit it, I would love to know what yarn you used, and if you liked it. And also, if you knit with mohair, do you not wear black? Like, genuine question. Because it gets everywhere. And I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't think I am. I don't know. I think it's just the nature of mohair to kind of like fall all over the place and be very like drapey and cute and soft and halo-y. And I like that, but I don't like when it's all over my clothes. So let me know if you have any tips and tricks that I may not know of. I would love to know. Yeah. If you guys watched my last knitting video, you may have seen my 3 Mercury socks by Kim Drotar, I believe, for my family. If you did see that, you probably also saw me kind of freaking out about them fitting my mom. Update, the socks fit everyone wonderfully, so pat on the back to me. I'm proud of myself on that one. So my first knit this year were a pair of Mercury socks for yours truly. So I knit my set with Malabrigo Ultimate Sock in Natural, the same as with my sister. I knit a reinforced heel. The heel part is a little too short, and I think I did that with the other socks that I'm currently knitting, but I did knit the toes correct on mine, which makes me very happy. They fit wonderfully. I love them. I love hand knit socks because they fit like a glove, because you're making them for yourself, and it's just so nice and pleasant. I will say the only thing that kind of makes me sad, and this is all me, this has nothing to do with the yarn, this has nothing to do with the pattern, this is literally me like yesterday. I threw these in the wash. They are super wash, so that was okay. I did a gentle run. Put it in with dark clothes, and the yarn darkened just a bit. I don't know if you can tell. I feel like it's not too obvious, but also I knew what it looked like before, and they were a little more neutral, and I feel like they're just a tad muted after the wash, so I probably should have washed with like whites or just hand washed it, because that seems safer. I mean, I wore these a bunch since I finished them, and they were super quick to knit up. I feel like I know this pattern by heart at this point, but I love these socks. I'm so excited to knit some more lace socks this year. I think they're so beautiful. I do think that they look really nice in this like beigey color. I would like to knit some, I think pastels would probably work well too, just because I think lighter colors make lace pop a lot. So yeah, definitely knitting lace socks at some point this year. I did get the 52 Weeks of Socks book last year, so I should use that at some point. But these are my Mercury socks. I love them, and I will cherish them forever, as they are my first pair of socks for myself. And we love that. We love that for me. So after the Mercury socks, I knit my Sunday cardigan. I went beige, I went gray. I needed color. I was craving color in my life. So moving on to what I have on my needles right now, I finished sock 1 of my very own ribbed socks. I don't know what pattern I used, or if I used a pattern. I think it was the same pattern that I used last time. I know there's a nice ribbed sock that I used to knit my brother's ribbed socks for Christmas, but I don't know. It's a free ribbed sock pattern. I'll link it down below. I used a combination of 2 patterns for this, and the reason for that is because I like the heel of one of them more, and that's it. I also, I didn't love the way the first one was written. I only cast on 60 stitches, which I normally cast on 64, and this is perfect. Like, I wouldn't want it any tighter or looser. Okay, maybe a little bit tighter. I think I cast on too loosely. This is just a long tail cast on. It's loose, it's plenty cute. This obviously has not been blocked yet. We need to talk about the yarn. Can we just appreciate this gorgeous beauty? Oh my God, she's beautiful. I love this. If you saw anything that I knit last year, you may know I don't like variegated yarn, and yet here we are. I really like this yarn so much. This is a hand-dyed yarn by Salty Blonde Fiber, and it's called Burn Book, and I'm obsessed. And the thing that I love so much about Salty Blonde Fiber yarn is that she includes swatches. for hand-dyed variegated yarn. Life-changing. It is life-changing. I'm definitely gonna link this yarn. I know you can get it in different weights. I love it. I think it's so fun. It's not like too crazy of a variegation, but it's so beautiful. I love it. You're gonna be seeing so much pink from me this year. I hope. I really hope. I love pink. Pink is my favorite color. It's been my favorite color since I was a wee child, and it's still my favorite color as a fully grown adult. So pink, I love it. I think I just finished the leg of the second sock, so that's what's currently on my needles. I don't know if any of you knit socks in the round, but if you do, speak up, because because I only see people knitting socks magic loop. Also, tiny PSA, if you hate magic loop and that is stopping you from knitting socks, for starters, DPNs exist. I'm horrified of them. I couldn't tell you why. It's one of those like irrational fears, but they scare me. And so when I discovered that shorties exist, oh, I love shorties. Socks, sleeve, anything tiny that has to be knit in the round, shorties. All the time. All the time. Unless I have to, like I did with this cardigan. In which case it's okay to knit a little bit of magic loop, but I enjoy knitting in the round. I feel like it's mindless and I can, sit back, relax, don't have to keep turning things over. And yeah, I will say, because this happened with these socks as well as my Mercury socks, where once I get to the foot and I'm done decreasing, I will not stop knitting. And then I end up with a massive foot that I have to frog and then pick up my stitches again, and it's just a little frustrating. But knitting the second sock, I actually enjoy knitting the second sock more because the first one's done, so I know exactly how many stitches need to go in for the foot. I'm not getting carried away with knitting the foot of the sock. So that is all I have on my needles, but we've got a lot of plans in the noggin. One thing that I'm really trying to work on this year is fixing my tension. So last year I found that I was knitting so loose. And I honestly was just like, okay, well, I'm a really loose knitter and that's just my life. So I'm trying to find a little bit of a happy medium, and that worked really well. With my cardigan, it worked well with the socks. I'm getting good practice in, so that's good. I think I'm getting there. I'm enjoying the current kind of I think all I started doing is wrapping the yarn once over my pinky and then knitting, because before it was just the yarn was kind of all over the place. I have so many plans. Well, some plans. I know that I've got my tiny stash. I bought some yarns last year and some of them don't make sense in the sense that the quantity is well, what were you thinking when you bought this? Because I don't have sweater quantities of anything. And I love sweaters. I don't even have sweater bust quantities of anything. I don't think. I could be wrong. Regardless, I bought them without having a project in mind. I'd like to knit from my stash quite a bit. I'm moving to cold as all heck Montana in a couple of weeks. So that's kind of the plan for when I'm there for the couple months that I am, to knit from my stash. That being said, before we get to the stash, before we get to those plans, I am 100% knitting myself a pink sweater. It's happening 100%. This is happening. I believe it's called the winter sweater. I will put up a photo here. It is a gorgeous turtleneck made with Aran weight yarn. In the projects and in most of the projects, people are knitting it held with mohair. I think it's worsted with mohair, and it's beautiful. I'm not doing that. I refuse. I know that it looks prettier, but I just don't want pink fluff all over my black jeans and my black turtlenecks and shirts that I am inevitably gonna wear under this sweater. So I think I'm just gonna get an Aran weight yarn. I'm gonna go to my local yarn store at some point, but I'm so excited to knit myself a nice warm turtleneck. I think I am more of a sweater person than a cardigan person, and that upsets me because cardigans can be more useful depending on the situation. Like if I have my hair done super cute and like I don't want to mess it up, a cardigan is what I'm gonna wear. But I really like sweaters, so I think I just need to keep knitting. That's the other thing. Even though I knit a bunch last year, you may or may not know, I hardly knit for myself. I only have one sweater, and it's the first sweater that I knit for myself. It's not particularly well made, but like it gets the job done. It's warm. But I'm finding myself like getting really antsy and wanting all of the staple pieces that I want in my wardrobe. So I'm having to like take a step back and take a deep breath and knit at my own pace, and I'll get there when I get there. I am so excited to have a pink sweater. At first I thought maybe I'll go for like a more muted pink, like a neutrally pink. But now I'm leaning towards more of like baby pink, maybe a louder pink. I don't know. I like pink. Let's move on to my stash and what the heck I'm gonna do with the yarn that I have. You guys, this yarn is stunning. Oh my goodness. It is beautiful. I hope you're able to see all of the gorgeous colors. This is so pretty. This is the Noro Tsuido in the color Himeji or 77. It's 100% wool. It's bulky, and I do indeed only have one ball. Now it is quite a bit, 320 meters. That sounds like it would be a lot of yards. But my current plan for this is to knit some cute bulky mittens. That seems fun, that seems warm. And my first beanie. I don't know if I want a really bulky beanie, but it'll keep me warm. I am almost certainly going to have like a puff from this yarn because I really want to. I've never knit a beanie before, and I feel like, or mittens, and I feel like this is the perfect place to start. I want to have like a cute little mitten and beanie set with it, and I really, really want to have a scarf with it, but I don't think I'll have enough yarn. I feel like I would probably need to use the whole ball for a scarf. It's so pretty, and the only reason that I have one is because even though my local yarn shop was having a Noro sale, oh my god, I did not go in expecting to buy Noro yarn, but then I saw the sale and I was like, okay, well, I'm here now. They were having a sale, but they only had one of these, and they haven't gotten any of them back in stock, so I'm like a little bit sad about that, but I figured that's like a semi-sign. Sort of. I'm just gonna knit with what I have. I'm really excited. This yarn is so cute, and I've had it for like months and months and months, and it's like this purple base with like pinks and purples and blues, and it's just like the cutest little thing ever, and I love it. I love it. Another random ball of yarn. I bought this absolute stunner. I mean, like, it's so freaking cute. This was last year in my variegated yarn phase of holy smokes, I need all of the pretty variegated yarns. Now I do think that this will be a winner. I think I'll like it because they're all just like different shades of pink. So it feels safe. The only thing is that this was also hand dyed by Salty Blonde Fiber. I love her work, but she's had like 80 collections since this yarn came out, so she doesn't make it anymore, which makes me sad, and it only leaves me with one ball of gorgeous cashmere yarn. I bought it with the intention of making socks. Why I was making socks with no polyamide, no nylon reinforcement, I don't know. I'm not gonna make socks out of it. I feel like I want it to be seen. I'm planning on knitting some mittens. I'll put a couple different options and you guys can maybe let me know if you have a favorite knitting pattern, but I am planning on holding this fingering weight cashmere with some silk mohair to make myself like lush mittens. Some more like maybe fancier mittens than the Noro yarn could get me. Something that's maybe a little classier, a little chic, a little exciting. My thought is to either pair it with a pink mohair and just really bring the pink out because I do love pink, or with a white mohair because this has quite a bit of white and I feel like that would give it that like cool, wintry cool tone that I want. So I'm probably just gonna see what my yarn shop has and go with what feels right in the moment, but I'm so excited. I think this yarn is beautiful. This was before she did yarn swatches, I believe. So I have no idea what this is gonna look like knit. I don't think I'm gonna knit a gauge swatch because I only have one ball of yarn and it's scary. And I also feel like it's okay for mittens to not knit a gauge swatch, but we'll see. I also like the idea of knitting a beanie, similar maybe to like the Oslo beanie. I might do that if I have enough. I don't know if one ball of yarn is enough for 2 mittens and a beanie. Putting a lot of faith in this ball of yarn. But hopefully, I don't know. I definitely want at least mittens from this. And then if I don't have enough, I think maybe I can just make like a matching solid color in a similar tone of any of the colors that are included in this pretty ball of yarn. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I really want a scarf. I don't know when I'm gonna knit a scarf, but I need one. I am very excited to be knitting accessories though. Mittens, hats, scarves someday. I love that I'm making socks for myself. Things that are like practical for my day-to-day. I have this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock. I don't have the label, but I knit my sister a scarf last year from this, and I thought I would need 2 balls of this yarn. I ended up only needing 1, so I have a full skein of the yarn. I want to knit the waffle sweater. I'll put a photo up of what it looks like. I am in love with that sweater, and this is, I think, a really good color for it. I know that I don't want to be knitting too many neutrals, but at the same time, I want to balance having pops of color in my wardrobe along with the neutral staples that I know I'm gonna probably wear more often. I want to find that good balance. So I definitely want this in a neutral color. I don't think I would want it in really any other color than this. I think that this is a really good color for it. I'm excited. I am so excited for that sweater. I do want to knit the pink one first because, again, we're good with neutrals right now. But I'm so excited for that sweater. I think that pattern is so beautiful. And I've read that it does stretch quite a bit. So definitely blocking that gauge swatch because not messing around with that. I'm probably gonna need more yarn than that. I'm not sure when I will get it, but I do think that having it starting with a gauge swatch and then kind of gauging how much yarn I'm gonna need based off of that, figuring out which size I'm gonna knit, that would be nice. So yeah, we'll see. That's my plan for that yarn. I also have this cotton silk tweed by, I don't know, it says that it's Italian, but it sounds French. Laine du Nord, maybe? And it is a 90% cotton, 10% silk. I think I'm gonna knit the Cumulus tee because it seems like even if it's cropped, it's okay. I think for the Cumulus top, I'll probably need a 3rd ball of yarn, but again, not too pressed about it. I feel like something like this, I could, at the very least, start with a gauge swatch and then go from there, figure out what size I'm knitting, get a third ball of yarn if need be. With that, I might knit the sleeves first before finishing off the body and then just be done when I'm done. It looks fun. I've never knit an I-cord edge, I don't believe. No, never knit an I-cord edge, so that would be a cool challenge. Also, I don't have any summer knits, so I'm excited for this one. I'm really excited to see what knitting with cotton feels like. I am like 99% sure that I'll enjoy knitting with wool more, but this is pretty. I really like it. I'm hoping that it looks very like soft, but a little rustic and cute. So yeah, it is between the Cumulus tee and a different tee that the name I can't remember, but I'll put them up, and if you guys can tell me if you have a favorite, that'd be great. If you've knit a summer tee and have a favorite pattern, definitely let me know. I am really excited. I'm excited. The last yarn that I want to talk about is this Malabrigo Arroyo yarn. This is the variegated yarn that I knit my mom's Stockholm slip over exactly a year ago. It was beautiful, but like I don't want a Stockholm slip over in the exact same color. I don't really know what to do with this. It does not have any nylon, polyamide, anything to reinforce it to make it a sock yarn. Makes sense. It's not the Malabrigo Ultimate Sock. I have no idea what to do with this. I do know what it will look like because I knit it last year, but I just don't know. I don't want to have the exact same slip over. I mean, I don't have the slip over, so maybe I'll knit it for myself. If you guys have any suggestions as to what the heck I should do with this skein, let me know. It's very pretty. I do like that it's kind of just variations of orange, which is why I think I would like this, because it's just kind of variations of pink. I know I want to knit myself a Stockholm slip over. I might just do it in this. I think I would want it to be cropped. I like that the Stockholm slip over is naturally like oversized, because the one that I knit for my mom, I knit a size down, so it wasn't perfect, but I do want to see what an oversized Stockholm slip over would actually look like. Well, knit the correct way. So I'm not sure what to do with this, but I have it and it's pretty. All right, that is it. That is all I have. That's everything I knit this month and what I have on my needles and what my plans are for next month. I am not putting any pressure on myself because I am like moving in 2 weeks. So packing up the whole apartment and we'll be really busy. So I don't know when I'll have time to go pick up yarn, but that's all I have for you today. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I'll link everything below. I post updates when I have updates. I'm trying not to be too active on social media, but yeah, that is like the first place that you can see like finished objects and new yarn that I bought and what I am currently working on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month. I hope this year is treating you well, and I hope that knitting is bringing all of the joy that it should be bringing to you. And that's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time. Bye.